What the heck is wrong with him?
He's super tired.
He needs his coffee.
Okay guys, let's get this episode started.
What the footsteps?
Hey guys, my name is Chris if you didn't already know, and welcome to my show Smeg Chris. Now that I've had some coffee, I can begin.
Since when do you coffee shop?
I don't know what you mean, Percy. I have a coffee every time I'm about to do an episode.
I've never seen your 5 minute version before.
That's because you're not normally here until the actual episode begins.
Oh, right.
As some of you may be aware, I had recently returned to Los Angeles.
You're still going on about this? Let it go.
No, Fred, I'm not going to go on about it. What I am going to do is look back on a previous episode. And it just so happens that the next episode I'm going to look back on is called Escape to LA. The one where I did a 3 likes, 3 dislikes and 1 love after my first trip to Los Angeles. I figured seeing as I've just been back there, it would be a good time to see if those likes and dislikes are still the same.
Oh, makes sense, I suppose.
Actually, because I knew I was going to be looking back on this episode soon, that's the only reason I went back to Los Angeles. Really? No, not really, I'm kidding. It was just a coincidence. Anyway, let's see what my likes, dislikes and love was for that episode. I'll start with my love. LA itself. The place is fantastic. The people are friendly, the weather is oh so hot, and there's always something to do or see. It's brilliant. Well, that certainly hasn't changed. LA is still my love. Even in October it's hot. Although I said there everybody was friendly, I would say most people were friendly. I'm going to exclude the people from Super Shuttle from that. They are quite rude. And pretty useless too. But everybody else, fantastic. Anyway, back to the video. Huh? Oh. The first of my 3 likes is the food there. Everything is so delicious, even McDonald's. I still agree with that one. The thing is, this time I only went to McDonald's the once. I went in Denny's, IHOP. Oh wait, there is an exclusion, Subway at Sunset Beach. For some reason that didn't taste very nice and it was falling to pieces. But apart from that, all the other food that I had, even from a shop where I just bought a salad, that was beautiful. So yeah, I still agree with that. Let's see what the next one was. My second like is that there are roller coasters and rides everywhere. Knott's Berry Farm was just down the road from my hotel. Yeah, that's definitely still a like. What can I say? I love my roller coasters. Although I didn't go on as many this time round as I did the last time. Only because I wanted to see other things. Let's see what my last like was. My final like is that being there, you'll learn to have patience. I noticed that straight away when I went to a crosswalk. Drivers and pedestrians all alike have to wait in turn. With this and many other things, I learned how to be patient. I definitely still agree with that. Because not only this time was I a pedestrian, but I was also driving a car. And the traffic is really bad over there. So yes, in Los Angeles, patience is a virtue. I'm surprised my likes weren't specific places like Warner Brothers or Universal. Mind you, before I got to the likes and dislikes, I did go on about them quite a lot. They'll all fall into the love of Los Angeles. I can't really imagine any, but let's see what my dislikes were. First, tips. Everywhere you go from restaurants to tour buses, they expect tips. They don't plead, but they do hint. It's quite annoying, but I did do it. A lot. Oh yeah, I should have remembered that one. Tips. In fact, going back to what I said about Super Shuttle, the hoopla I had trying to get from the airport to the hotel was a nightmare. First they let me go on the bus, but only to the next terminal because they wanted a family of 3 to get on, and I was quite willing to allow that to happen. The guy who was looking after me, he was too busy playing on his phone, so that every time somebody come and asked him a question, he just shrugged his shoulders and said I don't know, and carried on playing with his phone. And when he finally told me that my bus was here and I could get on it, he said to me, "Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you there was one half an hour ago." What? And then the entire trip back to the hotel, the aircon was on full, blowing in my face. I kept trying to turn the nozzle away, but I was frozen. Oh, and the cheeky driver, when we got to the hotel, he was saying to me, "Oh, I know you're a foreigner, but you do know that you're supposed to tip the driver before you leave." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And walked away. You tip for a good service, not a bad one. Yeah, I seem to be going into a rant. Let's just say I agree with that dislike. Let's see what the next one was. Secondly, their escalators kept confusing me because just like their roads, they're on the wrong side. Every time I wanted to go up, I kept going to the left side and it was going down. Many times I almost stepped on, and if I had, I would have fallen over. It hurt my brain. Actually, this time I'm not going to agree with that, because it was on my first full day there when I was exploring Anaheim and I came to the escalators and I was only confused the one time. After that, I remembered every time I came to escalators. But yeah, I do remember the last time I did that, I kept going to the wrong one. I guess I just adjusted to it more quickly this time than the last. Let's see what my last dislike was. Finally, the adverts. I thought advertisements over here were bad, but over there it's mental. I'm definitely still going to agree with that one. I mean, it's bad enough over here, but over there, everywhere. So at the end of that, my love is still the same, my 3 likes are still the same, but only 2 of the dislikes. And that's because I used my brain when it came to the escalators this time. I think I'm starting to lose energy again. Well, I guess it's time to wrap this up and get another coffee, because I've finished this one.
Oh, that's an episode.
Well, there, Percy.
All day you, innit?
Can I wait until I've had my coffee? Anyway, it's time for me to go, so I shall say thank you for watching and subscribing if you have, and liking this video if you did. Until the next time, peace out.
Wait a minute. I get it now. You did this episode because you're still going on about your first trip to LA.
You got it.
Dang it.
So just before I got to the likes and dislikes, I'd watched the video through and I was talking about Warner Brothers Studios and Universal and all those. But it also brought up some of the places that I didn't visit this time around, like SeaWorld and Knott's Berry Farm. And as much as I enjoyed them the first time around, I didn't really miss those this time. Except for one. Can you guess which? VidCon was probably the 2 best days of my entire life. I mean, I've had fantastic times in other places, but those 2 days just stand out in my mind. Maybe one day I'll go back to VidCon. And who knows, maybe that next time is as a guest? Possibly? I can dream.